And you were dead in the trespasses and sins in which you once walked, following the course of this world, following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the sons of disobedience, among whom we all once lived in the passions of our flesh, carrying out the desires of the body and the mind, and were by nature children of wrath like the rest of mankind. Welcome back to the Dominion Podcast. I am Jeremy Boyd.
And I'm Alex.
I feel like we've been here before.
We have been here before many times.
We've been here, especially last week we were here.
We were.
Doing this. And
trial run.
Something happened technically. I'd take no responsibility.
Of course.
I mean, I take all the responsibility. We spent an hour.
I'm happy to give you all the responsibility.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
That's what a grown man does.
Yeah.
Takes his licks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like I forgot to hit the record button, but the files got corrupted, etc. So we're back. We're going to talk about it again because we did, we've been thinking about it more, and more events have happened in the world since we recorded last week.
Yes.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about some stuff. But before we do, how are you?
I'm good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you?
You know what? I had a interesting Christmas. It was good.
Yeah.
In many ways and restful in many ways. So I am feeling great.
Nice.
Yeah, we're back to work now.
Yeah, I saw that you left early and then came back this morning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. One of my employees lives at Alex's house, so you get to see when we go to work. Yeah, we were working down in Colburn, so I wanted to get a head start on it. And turns out it ended up being kind of a miserable day to be working outside down there. So
were you outside all day?
We
it was
were.
A cold one.
Well, it wasn't. It was only like -5.
Oh.
I had to pick a day with no precipitation.
Yeah.
And there was no precipitation, but we were working beside a factory and the wind was blowing the snow off the roof.
Oh, yeah.
Right on top of us all day.
Yeah.
So it didn't work.
It was colder than that here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was not great.
It always seems like it's at least 3 or 4 degrees warmer just down in Coburg, like by the lake there, Mm-hmm. It's not even that far.
Mm-hmm. How you liking the new whip?
The new vehicle is great. We got her all outfitted now. We put the roof racks on. And got everything.
So it's a 3-seater in the front, eh?
Yeah. It's weird.
I'd never even heard of that.
Cargo van. It was a feature that I didn't even know existed. And then when I saw it, I was like, that could be really handy.
Huh.
So today, all 3 of us driving down in one vehicle.
What will Deutschland think of next, eh?
I don't know. Something even more communist than 3 people in a car. 25 people in a car.
Isn't it
Wait,
weird?
no car. No car.
Well, it's not weird, but it's crazy how Germany is so, so messed up. I mean, it's not weird, but it's
fundamentally messed up.
Like
but
fundamentally,
superficially, well, maybe not even superficially good anymore, but like on the surface presents well.
Yeah,
it has it together.
Yeah,
it's clean for the most part.
Transgressive was a word I couldn't find.
Okay,
like there's a profound transgressiveness.
Yes,
to them.
Well, yeah, I mean they've completely abandoned,
all of them, but yeah,
completely abandoned their Christian heritage.
I was actually thinking about this, I think this morning but it seems, would you agree with this idea that in the Bible, the people who receive revelation of God and reject revelation, in ways are capable of more heinous evil,
absolutely,
than the people who never knew?
There's no question.
Like Jesus teaches this multiple times.
Yeah, we're in Genesis at Westmount.
Yeah,
we're going through Genesis still, and we just finished this last week, Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah,
and Jason mentioned in the sermon, this is bad. This is a foretaste of the final judgment.
Yeah.
But what does Jesus say about Chorazin and Bethsaida? It'd be more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah on that day. And if the prophets had done the wonders in them that they've done in you, they would have repented in sackcloth and ashes.
Yes.
So those who receive a greater revelation and still reject are capable of far more wickedness, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you said, it looks different.
Yeah.
It's like if you were living in Sodom and Gomorrah versus those other places, or even Israel, when Jesus says the same kind of thing to Israel, it's like, or to the rest of Israel, it's like it looked civilized. You know what I mean? Like you would think that Israel was a civilized place, just as Germany was a civilized place, but it was out of I guess what I'm saying is the apostasy has such devastating consequences.
Yes.
And they're consequences that are, and maybe part of the devastation is they're not so manifest in ways. Like there's a certain civility that still exists and, common traditions and this and that. But it's like, it's the West that promotes abortion, for example.
This is what Jesus calls a whitewashed tomb.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you're full of deadness and dead men's bones. But on the outside, you've been painted. It's a nice coat of paint on there, but under the surface, it's just death.
Yeah. And it feels like the West, like Canada, for sure. Europe is this way. A lot of Europe, not all of it. But
sadly,
is a whitewashed tomb.
Yeah, it's very sad, especially when you look at all the places where the Reformation flourished and spread out from, and they're just completely gone now.
And they're engaged in a self-destruction.
Yeah.
It's like no one, and that even that seems to be a biblical theme, like the rot from within, and then you are overtaken.
They dig a pit and fall into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I was thinking about all that stuff, and what got us onto this topic of Deutschland? Oh yeah, the van.
The van. I bought a new vehicle.
Yeah.
It happens to be a Mercedes Sprinter.
It's a 2-wheel, 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
We
won't get into that. Still feeling a little sore over that one.
Hey man, it looks good.
It drives pretty good. It drives pretty good.
Can you stand in the back of that thing?
Almost.
Okay.
Tyler can stand. I can stand like this, and Matt has to
on his knees.
Really, yeah.
Crawl in the back there.
I make him work on his knees all the time. It builds character, right?
Oh man. Character. So, what we wanted to talk about again, now that we've really refined this, is the nature of revolution. And the reason that I think this is important is because we live in a revolutionary age, and here's the thesis, I guess, that a revolutionary spirit is really the spirit of unbelief. And this was the insight of, at least where I first read it, was Groen Van Prinsterer, who was a Dutch theologian, historian, writer, and he wrote a book called Unbelief and Revolution. And he was actually writing about the history of his own nation. And he was thinking through what was going on elsewhere in Europe, the French Revolution, this type of thing, as well as the decline of his own nation.
When was he writing?
It would have been the 1700s, right? The French Revolution.
Yeah, that was early 1700s.
Yeah, so it would have been shortly after that.
Okay.
And I believe it was in the 16th century, yeah. Or sorry, the 18th century, yes. And anyways, so he was writing, kind of looking back on it, and he interpreted the revolution through a biblical lens. And he saw, when he broke down the characteristics of the revolution, that this was not actually a move towards progress, like it was touted. It was actually a profound regression, and was basically the manifestation of unbelief. So we're going to unpack that in the pod. But the reason I wanted to talk about it now is because in as much as unbelief pervades the culture, we will see the same kind of impulse going on in the world. And we can say that is the case. I mean, even today I was doing some reflecting and writing on my childhood, born 86. The 90s were the formative time for me. And I describe my childhood as being, moving back and forth between boredom and adventure. Like that was my childhood. That was the frame of mind that I was constantly in. I was often bored. There wasn't a lot to do, and you had to find something to do. So you would build something, go on an adventure, go into the forest, go to the hockey rink,
dig a hole. What's down there? I don't know.
Make a bike track, go through the trails in the woods, this type of thing. I grew up in the country. But the reason why it felt this way was that the world itself felt extremely stable. So when you can be bored and adventurous and free, it means that the environment that you inhabit is a ordered one. And that was the world in the 90s in Canada, in small town Canada, right? For the most part. That is not the world we live in now. And I think 2020 kind of was a big exposure that, hey, things are not exactly as they seem. And since then, I would characterize, we didn't come out of those years and put it back together. The chaos is just increasing in the world in a whole lot of ways. We saw an example this week of City's Church in Minneapolis.
Oh, yeah.
And this is an American story, but I do think that it's the same spirit that animates this, and we will see the same kinds of things here. Basically, a group protesting ICE found out that one of the pastors is employed, actually oversees a field office in somewhere in Minneapolis. And they entered the church during corporate worship. They disrupted the service. They ended the service, actually.
Yeah, I believe from what I heard, they came in at the beginning and sat for half of the service and then did the thing where they all get up at the same time and then just start a commotion.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they basically, kids were terrified, women were terrified. They're intimidating people. They're loud, aggressive. This wasn't like a flash mob singing in the mall. You know what I mean? Like, this was intended to be domineering, intimidating. It was an act of force, is what it was, and aggression. So, in the States, this has become a huge talking point because there's obviously a line that's been crossed when you enter into a house of worship and you seek to disrupt the worship.
And you claim that it's your Second Amendment right.
And you claim that it's your right.
I have free speech. I'm allowed to do this. Well, it's private property. You're not, actually.
Yes. And so the people who do it see themselves, as all, revolutionaries do, is actually pursuing moral progress. When actually what they're engaging in is a moral regress.
Yeah.
They're undermining structures, a church service, that are critical to the flourishing of society.
Do you find, though, that the whole movement, the whole progressive movement is so self-contradictory and there's like this real cognitive dissonance for them?
Yeah.
Because on the one hand, individuals, we all believe in good and evil.
Yeah.
Instinctively, whether we say we do or not. So people that say, truth is subjective, they still believe in objective truth. They're just living a lie. They're fooling themselves. Mm-hmm. So everybody believes that. Yet the whole point of Marxism and this progressive ideology is just to gain power.
Yeah.
Power is the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
And so what you do is you break down your opponent using methods that might appeal to them, like appealing to truth or appealing to love or saying, well, Jesus was a refugee or whatever you think is going to work for them, you're willing to use. But all you're really trying to go for is power. But at your core, you're still self-righteous. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how that plays out for individuals who have this kind of cognitive dissonance
like
going
how
on.
they do the very thing they say they oppose.
Yeah. And but their worldview says, I don't believe in right and wrong, yet I'm still pursuing it. But really, power is all they're pursuing. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to make of that as far as like how someone is able to reconcile all those ideas in their mind.
Yeah, well, that's a critical observation, though, that the revolutionary is about seizing power. Like fundamentally, that's about what it is, and asserting power and authority. And the contemporary mind sees revolution in positive terms. It's the overthrow of existing unjust structures of authority, power, and governance. And it's an assertion of authority or power in the pursuit of freedom. So when you frame it that way, a lot of people today see revolution as inherently good. Like the term itself.
On principle.
What it
doesn't matter what the current system of power is.
Yes.
If you're pushing against it, well, unless it's the Iranian regime.
Yes.
Don't want to push against them because we like them. But, or a communist tyrant in South America, whatever. So it's not every form of power.
No.
It's just those that are opposed to you.
Yeah. So what's done is the traditional or the contemporary authority structure is painted as inherently evil, right? Whether that be the father, so patriarchy is a bad thing.
The Tsar.
Yeah, the Tsar, yeah. Or, the state or white people.
Yeah, straight
white males, this type of thing. So you frame it as they are inherently evil, whoever's in power and whoever's governing. And then
whether they have power or not.
Yeah, whether that's even real.
Yeah.
But it is seen as an inherent virtue to overthrow the power because the power is inherently full of vice.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the narrative. So today,
maybe this is how they reconcile it in their mind. They don't believe in the inherent wickedness of humans, and so people who are bad are only bad because they're inherently bad because they're serving the wrong power.
Yeah,
right. Them themselves are allowed to do all sorts of vile things because they're serving the right power.
Yeah,
and so I don't know. Maybe that's how you get around it in your mind.
Yeah. Well, I think I'll circle back to that, but. In this way of thinking, the end justifies the means, right? If power is bad, and assuming power, exactly, is good, and taking it away from them is good, then there's almost nothing along that path that can be bad. And this is why this is what Canadian Christians need to understand, is that the revolutionary spirit is violent and is chaotic, and you may even to be under an unjust ruler, to have a kind of rule or a degree of rule is better than none.
Yeah.
And when the revolutionary spirit takes off like a fever in people, there's no stopping that. You think, I'm going to join this mob and we're going to take out the king, and then we're just going to take the power that we've just won, we're just going to give it back and go back to this serene existence. It's like
the Ring in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly. So it's, the Russian Revolution overthrew the Tsar, but it resulted in the most deadly and truly the first truly totalitarian regime in world history that was responsible for more deaths of its own citizens than almost every war in world history combined till that point. So it's so we need to be very cautious about participating in, encouraging a kind of revolutionary spirit. And I see these things actually kicking off.
So maybe we need to dwell on that for a minute, because I think a lot of people, Christians included, hear the word revolution and we don't think, okay, that's on principle, that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
We think, well, Jesus was a revolutionary. He came to start a revolution, or the American Revolution was a good thing. But I think the way you're framing it is that revolution, properly understood, is an overthrow of power, whether it be legitimate or illegitimate power, and that is based in unbelief.
Yeah. So the Lord Jesus Christ disarmed the rulers and authorities and triumphed over them, but he was overcoming the forces of darkness. What you read in the scripture is that all of humanity in Adam is actually enslaved to the forces of darkness. Yeah. So when you think you're fighting for the freedom of men, you're fighting for the enslavement of man.
Right. Christ overturned the power, an illegitimate power.
Yeah. But you going up and killing the king and his entire lineage, and then it's, engaging in like a genocide of your own people is not that. So what Van Prinsterer said is that what we call revolutions is actually always a rage against godly authority and godly structures. Now, it's not to say that there isn't the stated justification of overthrowing a wicked ruler.
Sure.
Right? Or it's not to say that King Louis didn't have problems, or the Tsar was great and everyone in Russia never had it so good. Like, that's not.
No, but it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
If the Tsar was a decent guy, and a good leader, it wouldn't have mattered, because it was that power structure they were trying to overthrow regardless.
Yeah. And if you say that you are here for the emancipation of humanity and your brothers from evil and tyranny, you don't go like kill the kulaks and rape their wives. It's like, sorry, what? It's like, you are the problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not the revolution against evil. You're literally the tidal wave of evil.
Yeah.
Or what happened to the Tsar and his entire family bayoneted and his kids. It's like, whatever you're doing here, it's not the pursuit of justice. It's not the pursuit of freedom. It's not the pursuit of law. It's actually the pursuit of lawlessness under the guise of pursuing justice, right? And so Van Prinsterer says we need to look at what caused the French Revolution. And he says we need to look for what he calls the general cause. And this is helpful. And this is how Christians think, that we don't just analyze history in terms of sociological, economic, cultural points and facts, that we look for the underlying cause of things. And one of the kind of unique features of Scripture is that it points us to those. That whatever we could say separates mankind, there's something that unites. There are many things which actually unite us. And one of them is the spirit of the age. And you read it from Ephesians 2, that the condition of humanity apart from faith in Christ is one of spiritual death. That and he goes even further, not just that we are condemned positionally, but experientially, we are dead to the things of God. We are dead to the truth about God. We are blind to it. And we actually are animated. He says you walk following the course of the world, the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the sons of disobedience. And so there is an animating power, and it is the spirit that is animating the disobedience in people. And so when I read this of Van Prinsterer, it's like, what is the general cause? It's like, well, that is the general cause. The general cause of fallen people is literally demonic forces. And they are described as disobedient, that they are not working towards God's glory and the good of people, but it's actually a deconstruction, a devolving, a regression away from this. So if you, all of a sudden, this changes how you view revolutions. You don't see them as progressive. You don't see them as moving things forward. You see them as actually a suicidal attempt to move it backwards. Now, do people, if you were to stop a revolutionary, you wouldn't say, hey, I know you say you're doing good, but you're really trying to do bad. No, they believe they're doing good.
Of course.
That's the nature of unbelief.
Nobody thinks they're doing bad.
Yeah.
Nobody.
No. Like Jesus even says, there's going to come a day when they're going to kill you in the name of God.
And think that they're offering service to God.
Yes. And that's the most dangerous. Those are the most dangerous people. The people who can convince themselves in their conscience that the most heinous evil is the pursuit of justice and goodness. Like, you know what I mean? It's like when you can tell yourself the worst thing imaginable that you could do is the best thing you can do. Not only are you so broken, there's nothing you are incapable of doing. And this is what marks the revolution, right? Van Prinsterer says that he sees history actually through the lens of the spirit of the age. He says historical events in their main content and chief import are nothing but the shape and contours that reveal the sustained action of the spirit of the age. And that's very fascinating. It's always amusing to me when you read, say, accounts like philosophical progression throughout history, like ideas. I've always thought, okay, but that's not actually what's beneath this. Like, it's not like people read a paper and then had a thought And then that takes over until another idea comes along. Like, yes, human knowledge, it interacts and we reach conclusions and build upon them. And I'm not saying that there's no influence, but there's something deeper in humanity that animates what we do. It animates the way that we receive knowledge and the way that we spread knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's this whatever spirit is animating us. It's either the spirit of God or to the spirit of the world. And so Van Prinsterer says that the revolutionary spirit is an inversion of a Christian worldview, culture, principles, and practices. It's not fundamentally about an overthrow of a particular government, although that is the kind of the reason given, but the overthrow of Christ's government. He says the whole inversion of the general spirit and mode of thinking that is now manifest in all Christendom. And so this is very telling, right? That's why it's characterized by lawlessness. It's not actually and this is why I first heard Wilson say he doesn't refer to the American Revolution as the American Revolution.
Yeah.
Because I think he's working from this framework. He's like, technically speaking, the stated purpose of what we call the American Revolution was to restore the rule of law, not actually
the government
to set it
had
aside.
broken the law.
Yes.
So the goal was not to overthrow the government.
No.
But to call the government to account.
Yes.
To do what it was supposed to be
yes.
doing.
To assert
Yeah.
The rule of law.
I think that's a valid analysis.
I think it is too. Yeah. But I will say that I can understand why Canada reacted against that, whatever, kind of revolutionary spirit was there. So our motto is peace, order, and good governance. And this is obviously in response to certain values and historical events which took place in America.
Yeah.
And I used to look at that and say, and I still believe that this is a part of our problem. This is why Canadians are so gullible, as opposed to Americans who are not gullible towards the state. Like, there is a huge difference in general between how Americans view the state and how Canadians view the state. Like, so many Canadians will listen to lies upon lies upon lies because they can't. The idea that the state could not be working for your best interests is a thought that is too much for them to bear. And we're very much more like hobbits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to know what the world's like out there. I want to think that what I experience in Hobbiton is the way the world is. And the problem is people who go off on these adventures and rock the boat. It's like, no, bud, the problem is orcs. The problem is evil. The problem is the monsters that are 30 miles away and you just don't know it. And it takes people to recognize that, to do something.
Yeah. I mean, your description of the response. Would you have the light go on here? Yeah, look at that.
You'll look at that.
Would you look at that? The response to the hobbits leaving, calling them adventurers and all that, and saying they're the ones that caused the problem, kind of reminds me of what people have been saying in regards to Alberta, wanting to maybe, secede from Canada.
Yeah,
it's like, you
boat.
guys are the traitors.
Yeah.
You guys are leaving Canada. It's like, no, Canada is leaving Canada.
Yes.
You're turning into something that you weren't supposed to be, and everybody's just going along with it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And so the way that Canadians are kind of duped is by people giving the appearance of peace, order, and good governance while they actually are robbing us, undermining us, committing treachery all over the place, left, right, and center. So anyways, we need to see that the spirit of the revolution is really it's an opposition to the rule of Christ. He says, by revolutionary ideas, I mean the basic maxims of liberty and equality, popular sovereignty, social contract, and artificial reconstruction of society by common consent, notions which today are venerated as the cornerstones of constitutional law and political order. And a lot of people, I would say most people today would say, yeah, those are all good things.
Yeah, common consent. That's great.
Yeah.
Except when everybody wants to do something wicked.
Yeah.
Like
it's like, remember slavery that you say you're against? And like everyone was
most
down
people
with
were
that?
cool with that.
Yeah. Beck read me a quote from Hannah More, who was a poet, reformer, abolitionist in January 1793. And she said, from liberty, equality, and the rights of man, good Lord, deliver us. Which I think is an awesome quote. I guess I was talking to Beck about revolution a lot. She's like, you'll like this. But I just love that, you know? It's like everyone's like, liberty, equality, the rights of man. And she's like, good Lord, deliver us from that.
Yeah.
But she saw it for what it was. She's like, wait a second. This is a like a flag that you wave over the corpses. You know what I mean? That are littering your streets. And this is none of those things.
Yeah, to the sound of the tumbrel driving by, leading people to the guillotine.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The brotherhood of man, hey?
Yeah. Have you, by the way, just sidebar, have you read A Tale of Two Cities?
I haven't.
It's, yeah. What are y'all doing with your lives if you haven't read that book? Should be your next read.
Yeah.
A Tale of Two Cities. Anyway, carry on.
Did you enjoy it?
It's in my probably top 3 with Lord of the Rings and Byzantium.
Byzantium. Yeah. I'm reading that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where are you?
Still in, he's left.
Okay.
Still in the early stages. It's well written.
Yeah, very well written.
So it's A Tale of Two Cities. This is going to sound like a very childish thing to ask. Does it end well or bad?
I
know a lot of bad
give
things
away
happen,
anything.
but-
Yeah. I don't want to give away anything. I mean,
I
think
can't handle stories that end poorly.
it ends well.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to answer that question. Yeah, it's a great ending.
Okay.
Great, you know. Does the story of the crucifixion end well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Right, but it's gruesome and brutal and all those things. So yeah.
Yes, I definitely will read that and need to in light of this topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So from liberty, equality, and the rights of man, good Lord, deliver us. And this should be the prayer of every Christian.
Yeah.
Right. He also makes the observation that the conservatives in his day, their sin was in not rejecting the revolution down to the bottom.
Right.
And you see this in scripture, right? It's like, I'm going to do what God said. We say all the way, right away, with a happy heart, obey at school. It's like, God commands his people, take care of these people and don't take anything from them. It's like, I'm going to take some stuff from them, right? Or like, don't marry the women. It's like, well, some of them. Or, knock down those idols. It's like, except for that one. And
yeah.
this is essentially what conservatives do. They don't want the revolution to get out of control, right? There's a limit to what they want to allow, but they don't have the courage.
You want to tax us 80%? We're only going to tax you 50.
Yes. Or they don't have the courage to say liberty, equality, and the rights of man is an abomination.
Yeah.
Bring back the king.
No,
like that kind of thing.
To say that, you would have to be able to defend what most people would describe as a theocracy.
Yes.
Because if they say, well, if it's not the right or the consent of the populace, demos,
yes,
then who is it? Well, it's like, well, it's God. I mean, God's the one who made us, and he's the one that gets to define the rules, like don't murder and steal. And but people are not willing to defend that, especially unbelieving conservatives. That's the last thing they want to defend.
And so why is Canada in the place that we are? Well, because the conservatives have gone along with the revolution. I like Michael Wagner. We should have him on the show, by the way.
Is that a historian?
He is a historian. I don't know exactly what his vocation is, but he's written books on the history of Canada. He has written books on the history of the right in Canada.
Yeah.
He's written a book on, I believe he wrote the book on the broken covenant of the Anglo sphere. And he also has written kind of the recommended book on Western succession. So he's the dude on that. Christian brother.
Canadian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says that Pierre Trudeau, when he put into place the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, it was actually the beginning of the revolution.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think, and even I thought this until recently, that the Charter of Rights and Freedoms is actually upholding a Christian view of things. But he would say that's because they say that the supremacy of God, the rule of law, and the preamble, and everyone thinks it's all good, but it actually subverted a Christian view of law.
It doesn't root human rights in God.
Yeah.
Or in our being made in his image. And it also gives a loophole. It's like, yeah,
we
human
believe
rights are
the
great.
supremacy of God until the state doesn't believe
Basically,
the
which is
God.
why they were able to do what they did in COVID and get away with it. Because there was actually a loophole in the Charter of Rights.
Yeah.
Which wasn't there before because we had, we had a millennia of British common law to lean on and Magna Carta and all that great stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't need a charter.
Yeah. Remember those days? Remember Magna Carta? That was cool.
He just wanted rights for homosexuals, basically.
Yeah.
And so that's the only way to get it is to create a new Charter of Rights.
Yes, and it's
which actually destroyed the rights.
It did, and when we needed those tests, when we needed that document to stand, like the only reason you have it is for situations where the state is infringing on those rights. It's not for the citizens. It's to keep us safe from the state, from whoever's power. And it completely failed. The state just had to go, it's like, yeah, but we think it's demonstrably justified to suspend your
We don't have
rights.
to demonstrate it. We just think it is.
Yeah, we just think it is.
Yeah.
So, which brings up, again, what he saw about the revolution and Hannah More as well. They're atheistic. Mm-hmm. Like these are not led by Christians. They don't work from Christian presuppositions. It's the opposite. It's the asserting of human authority is ultimate. So you look at this: liberty, equality, and the rights of man. It's like liberty says who? What is that liberty? Liberty to do what?
Yep.
Equality. What does that even mean? Does that mean like in creating the image of God equality? Because that sounds good. Oh no. What we mean is you're not allowed to have more than me, right?
Yeah.
And the rights of man. It's like says who? Like who, if God doesn't define what the rights of man are and that they are inalienable, then who actually does? It's like, well, it's not the king. It's like, okay, but is it you? Because I'm looking at 40 skulls on the pavement right now. You know what I mean? It's like, were those men? It's like, are they part of the brotherhood? Are they just less equal? You know what I mean? So it's profoundly atheistic. And to the point about conservatives have accepted essentially all of the fundamental presuppositions of the revolution. Mm-hmm. They have totally surrendered the supremacy of God. They have totally surrendered the Bible as the authoritative law for society. They have surrendered the standard of like righteousness that's based on God's word. All of these things. But they just wanted to go a little bit slower. They don't want it to go as fast.
Yeah.
So we need to reject that. Again, the core tenet of unbelief and revolution and the revolutionary spirit is a rejection of the authority of God and an elevation of the authority of man. And
yeah, because you could say, would we do better as a country economically with lower taxes?
Yeah.
Sure. But you can have a godly reasoning for that, or you could have an ungodly reasoning for that. If it's just a pragmatic, well, our GDP will be higher if we have lower taxes because people will produce more. I mean, you're just saying something that's true.
Yeah.
But you're not giving a reason for it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you say, no, your labor belongs to you because God commands you to work and to provide for your family, and somebody else doesn't get to just come in and take that and use it how they want endlessly. Like, I don't know if you see what I'm saying, but like you could be arguing a good point with a completely atheistic reason.
Oh yeah. which will always actually undermine the thing you're trying to do at some point. And you look at that, the charter, it's like, let's defend human rights. It's like, is that how we kill babies? You know what I mean? Is that how we do MAID? We literally go to the hospital as a depressed 24-year-old 3 weeks ago and get 2 pills to just die because human rights. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we kill infants for human rights. It's like the thing that you say you're doing, you're not doing, and the reason that you gave for it undermines the thing you say you're going to do. Right? It's like when you set aside justice to do justice, you're undermining justice. It's like, we need to get, the king's not a good guy. We should go bayonet him and his whole family without a trial. It's like,
Well, it doesn't sound like you're a good guy either.
yeah, it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? And then you saw that in the French Revolution, right? It's in what's the saying that the first batch of revolutionaries always ends up in the guillotine?
Oh, yeah. The second batch comes along and the first batch isn't revolutionary enough
Yeah.
because it's not working, because it never works.
No.
They say, oh, it's not working because you guys are, just not hard enough, and you got to go harder.
Yeah, and the litmus test for loyalty is not a loyalty to an objective, transcendent good, namely God, as revealed in his word, and to each other. It's actually to the revolution. So someone is determined good or bad, condemned or justified based on their proximity or their willingness to engage in the revolution.
Yeah.
Which is just a wicked thing. Like, it's the antithesis of equality under the law. It's the total opposite of that. And but these things happen with the shouts of equality. It's like, no, equality means that from the king to the peasant, we all have the same rights under the law, right? And the same due process afforded to us, this type of thing. And again, like we said, the revolution, the end justifies the means.
Yeah.
But if the revolution, I guess what I'm saying is the revolution is a manifestation of unbelief, and at its core is a rejection of the principles and the rule of Christ, then the revolution didn't actually begin, when Christ rose from the dead, as, N.T. Wright said. The revolution began and has been going since the fall of man.
Yeah.
That the world is in a constant stage of revolution, not as an emancipation from evil in the pursuit of justice, but is the continued enslavement to it.
Yeah.
This is the book of Judges. Everyone did was right in their own eyes.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the revolution. That's what that is. And so we ought to reject this. And actually, the death and resurrection of Christ was the anti-revolutionary moment. Colossians 1:18, he is the head of the body of the church, the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in everything he might be preeminent. So if history is the outworking of unbelief and the spirit of the age, and that is fundamentally opposed to the rule of Christ and seeking to usurp his rule constantly, then the resurrection of Jesus, which is the establishment of his rule, reestablishment of his rule, subjecting all things to him, is the anti-revolution.
Yeah.
And this is what Christians are a part of.
Yeah.
We don't side with the king or the revolutionaries. We're with Christ, which means we will uphold godly authority and godly authority structures, and we will reject anti-authority chaos.
Yeah. I like how you said that as Christians, we have to look at the story of history as Christians.
Yes.
And as the Bible presents it.
Yes.
And not to just, kind of follow the historical narratives that most people follow.
Yes.
Which means that most of history, well, all of history, is a fight between the rightful Lord of the universe,
yes,
and those who would set themselves against him. And it just reminds me of Psalm 2, as which we've read so many times on this program. But why do the nations rage and the peoples plot in vain? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us burst their bonds apart and cast away their cords from us. It's always an attempt to cast off the Lord's authority. But it's actually, his authority is the one that's going to win, right?
Yeah.
God has set him on Zion, and he's going to rule with a rod of iron. Like, that's inevitable. This is the story of history, and this is how we should be looking at all of these things, which is a great. I don't know where you're getting the Van Prinsterer stuff from. I've never actually read him, but sounds like it would be really helpful.
Oh yeah,
because he's seeing it in that light.
He is.
He's like, if you're rejecting this, then you're rejecting Christ.
Yes,
and you're on this side of the story, and there's Christ's authority and Christ's rule, and then there's demonic authority and demonic rule.
Yeah, and it's Christ or chaos. Kiss the Son,
lest he be angry.
Yes, exactly. And there's an encouragement there too, because it is, when you run up against the revolutionary fervor, they love to say it's inevitable, it's inevitable, and it feels as though there's an energy and an animating spirit here which cannot be resisted.
Yeah.
And in our own strength, you can't, but actually Christ can and has and fully will.
Yeah.
It's like, the revolution's not the future, bud. It's like, okay, let's say you actually make it into the castle and you do whatever, dude. Like, then you're going to die. The guys behind you will probably do it.
Yeah.
And then it's just going to be a mess for a while until God fixes this thing up. Like, how about we just skip this thing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just part of their odd utopian view of how they think things are going to work out.
Yes.
We're progressing. We're evolving, right? We're evolving past all this tribalism and religious dependence, and we're going to turn into something above that. We're going to be above war and killing, and we just have to get rid of all the people who still haven't evolved to that point yet, and then we can achieve this new consciousness or whatever. It's just a weird humanistic, atheistic eschatology. And they do think it's inevitable. It's a scientific inevitability that this is going to happen.
Yes. And the revolutionaries feel as though they're on the right side of history.
Yeah.
Which is a dangerous thing, right? Like, if bayoneting children puts you on the right side, there's nothing that puts you on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's evil, it's demonic. Christians ought not to participate in it. It actually, again, gave me a newfound interest in thinking through our Canadian history. Like, there's so much I admire about America and respect about it, and there's so much I despise about Canadian history. But I think there's something to be said for the peace and the order and the good governance that was maintained in our nation through a very chaotic time. And I used to just chalk that up to simpletons and cowards and it was
a different political situation here, though. Like the colonies down south all had specific deals with British Parliament.
Yeah,
we didn't. We were just, we weren't really a colony per se. It was just an extension of the empire. So, and of course, we didn't have the same sort of political philosophy that had developed, and so it's different situations.
Yeah, and I just think there's ditches on either side. Maybe like there's strengths to having a skepticism of authority, but then you run the risk of not being skeptical of your own.
Yeah.
It's good to value freedom, but not like freedom from God. And it's good to value peace and order and good governance unless you create an idol out of them and they are above the scrutiny of God. You know what I mean? Like, you see that in our public discourse. The government presents itself as democracy. So if you disagree with the state in Canada, they'll be like, that's undemocratic. It's like, hold on a second.
Yeah.
No. You are not democracy. The people are democracy. And you can debate about the values of democracy. I mean, we're not a straight democracy, but the principle of self-governance to some degree, right? Yeah. It's like the Canadian state frames themselves as basically whatever is good, the definition of good. And to challenge them is to challenge that thing. It's like, you're equating yourself with good. We're saying you need to subject yourself to the standard of good, which is why, and and I wanted to bring this up, actually, maybe segueing into the current events, is the federal, encouragingly, in a very rare, solid decision by the Canadian courts, the Federal Court of Appeals upheld the Mosley decision, which ruled that the implementation of the Emergencies Act, formerly War Measures Act, was unjustified and therefore illegal. So that the state, the government...
What's the Mosley decision? That
So
was
it was
the
a-
first decision?
Yeah, it was the ruling on the use of the Emergencies Act,
during
whether it's
the-
justified.
Okay, yeah.
And-
Wait, during Pierre Trudeau or
No.
Justin?
The only time the Emergencies Act has been used was during the convoy.
I thought Pierre used it as
The
well.
War Measures
Oh,
Act.
that was the War Measures.
Yeah, the FLQ crisis.
Yeah, okay.
When they were putting bombs in mailboxes and kidnapping people.
Yeah.
Yeah, our government did it when they were like just standing in the streets with bouncy castles and like singing "Okay."
But the horns, they really disturb people.
Yeah, that's true.
Honk,
That's
honk.
true. Yeah. Oh, I love the horns, man. It's just a giant, like, I can't even say it. It just show up to Ottawa and they held on to them, man. I love the honking will continue until morale improves.
Yeah. With a flock of Canadian geese, just, yep.
So good.
It's so weird to say, but seeing those memes and seeing those videos, it brought so much hope
Oh, yeah.
to me. Just on a earthly level, like,
Yeah.
wow, there's actually people out there that aren't crazy.
Yeah, that aren't commies. It was the best of Canada.
Yeah.
It was the best of Canadian culture. It's what I remember my parents being and the people I grew up with. It was rural, blue collar culture, which I know that people say culture flows from the cities out. I don't think that's actually the way that it is. I think Canadian culture is fundamentally rural. And it's always been that way. Now, there's been an elite class that has always been shaped by, more metropolitan values. But the Canadian people, the actual Canadian people, are a rural people.
Yeah.
Farmers, ice rinks, like just our nation itself. Until very recently, there was Toronto and Montreal and Quebec City. Like, that's it. And they're not even, in the grand scheme of things, they're not even big, right? Now they are now, but in the history of our nation. Anyway, so the government appealed the Mosley decision. They said, we didn't like that. And the Federal Court of Appeals dismissed it, which is saying that you implemented the War Measures Act illegally against your people. Now,
What does that mean?
Well,
Does that mean anybody gets held to account for that?
but this is the problem.
Yeah.
This is the problem, is that I read yesterday, Keith Wilson, I think, was the lawyer for the convoy, and Eva Chipiak commented as well. There's a custom in the West, our Westminster form of government, that if you did this kind of thing, it's expected that you would step down. The problem is you see this difference between America and Canada. We set up our governance structure as if the problem is disorderly people, not a tyrannical state. So there's all of these, even in the House of Commons, how you are not allowed to say that someone is a liar. That's a rule in the House of Commons. But you're allowed to lie. Well, what does that tell you? That tells you that they never, it is, our system of governance is predicated upon an internal, self-enforced and collectively enforced sense of honor and morality. It's not legislated.
But it's only an external sense. Because calling somebody a liar is bad because it's something that's happening externally. But lying, like, it's not wrong there because I don't know. I guess because lies aren't a problem. Like,
well, what we're seeing is when these customs are put into place, the assumption was honorable men will lead us. We don't need to make rules keeping us safe from liars and crooks. We will take care of that ourselves. There's a code amongst us that we know. Even in, I think it was Harper's government, someone got fired over falsely charging a glass of orange juice, or they stepped down. You can literally have $3 billion slush funds now, and all you have to do at committee is say, I don't know.
Yeah.
And there's
You can take a free vacation from some other foreign country's government, and
yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Oh, and way worse. And even now, you can declare war on your own citizens. And I say that not with hyperbole. It's the definition of war, not just because it was declared the War Measures Act. It was called the War Measures Act before, but think about it. The Emergencies Act allows for the suspension of civil liberties, which is what defines you as a citizen.
Yeah.
Your lawful rights and responsibilities. Without those, you are a non-citizen.
And if they can suspend them at all, then they don't really count for anything at all.
Exactly.
Right? Like they need to be complete,
yeah.
or they just don't matter. Because if whenever they want to take them away, all they got to do is come up with some bogus idea that there's some, you're about to hurt somebody, or there's going to be some harm done, or whatever.
Exactly.
And then they can take them away.
Which, as another example of, we don't legislate to protect from the state. Yeah. We legislate to protect from the people. That gets weaponized by a corrupt state to crush people. Whereas America is the opposite. They set up their constitution to guard them from a corrupt state. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that was a big oversight in Canada, is we just assumed there would be these, somewhat honorable people running things. Well, that's a pretty big oversight.
It is. Yeah. It's an oversight. It's a neglect of history and of a biblical view of reality. Mm-hmm. And we're bearing the consequences of it. So at the time, I believe it was true. I believe for most of Canada's existence that it worked well because there were honorable people and there was an expectation of morality and righteousness that was not legislated, but that was shared by the ruling class. No longer the case. So what should happen is they should step down in the bare minimum. They should likely face criminal charges. Like, how can you declare war on the people that you are meant to serve and there be no consequence? There's nothing.
Yeah, if a citizen does something illegal, you get charged.
Yeah.
If a government does something illegal, nothing happens.
Nothing happens, which means functionally we are not under the rule of law because it's not equally applied, but the law of the ruling class, which is the definition of authoritarianism and tyranny. Yeah. So that was something that happened in the news recently I wanted to comment on. And it's personal because, I was arrested under that legislation, right? Put in the paddy wagon. And I still remember just being like, I'm allowed to stand on the streets of my nation's capital. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we weren't pushing, we weren't even in the line or anything like that. We literally went to the barricade because they had horses still. We showed up. And I was worried. We already saw, I didn't see it. I was on the hill when the elderly lady with the walker was trampled by the horse. I was just looking the other direction. And actually a guy from Peterborough, Luke, I remember him running up and being like, the horse just trampled the lady. So there's kind of this weird, the media lied and said that never happened. And they said it was just made up. But like, I was there when it happened.
I saw the video right away.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, they'll say whatever, but it's like, no, I was there. My friend came and said he was right beside her. And anyways, we were worried about the horses, them opening and the horses coming through. Because there's like, I don't know how many there were, 3, 4, 5 horses lined up behind the riot police. So at the bottom of the hill was a concrete barricade. So I said, we'll go to the barricade because the horses can't charge barricade. And the whole time I'm just like, how is this even happening? But the reason that we went, and the reason I'm bringing this up is to say that in my mind, I was there to uphold the rule of law.
Yeah.
I wasn't there to get in a fight with the authorities or to do anything of the sort. It was a simple, principled demonstration that what I'm doing is lawful and what you are doing is lawless. And it turns out that the courts agree with this. The courts have ruled that the state acted lawlessly and that those who opposed them acted lawfully. They were lawfully justified. And we definitely need to tell people that. Another story I wanted to touch on is, did you see the video of Carney talking about the New World Order?
No, I just saw some quotes from it.
It's a very, you got to watch the video.
Did you just say the quiet part out loud?
No, he said it. He literally said it like this: the New World Order, like literally a pause between everything.
Are you talking about the wrestling group?
Yeah, exactly. Hulk Hogan. Are the boys getting back?
Yeah.
But Scott Moe was beside him at the table, and you could just see his head just snap. He's like, sorry, what? But he was speaking about this in the context of an economic union between Canada and China. And it's a complicated situation because China has Saskatchewan by the throat, because I think China's the main they import our canola. And so canola is one of the main exports of Saskatchewan, I think. And
Do you know
then
what canola is made out of?
Corn?
No. Rapeseed. It's
Really?
Rapeseed oil. I just learned this week. It's not corn. No.
Wow.
It was originally used as a lubricant for heavy machinery.
Yeah, don't cook with it.
It's probably not the best to cook with. Yeah.
No, we gave up that.
Canola stands for Canadian Oil Low Acid. So it's a low acid version of the rapeseed oil they used to use for lubricant.
If you were still thinking of cooking with it,
it's not great.
Someone's going to be listening to the pod, just making the dinner.
Yeah,
got the earbuds in.
I thought it was corn as well. Who knew?
No.
Yeah. You can get corn oil.
Yeah, but let's just cut.
Yeah, anyway.
Let's just skip to the olive oil, right?
Yeah, buddy.
No more seed oils.
Yeah.
All right.
Or avocado oil.
Coconut
oil.
Yep.
Many
but just not canola oil.
Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, China, Scott Moe.
Yeah. So they announced the decision, and it does some good things for Saskatchewan, but it brings in a lot of Chinese EVs, which for sure are surveillance devices, for sure. All right. But the bigger problem here, apart from that particular deal, is that Canada is very obviously attempting to move away from an economic partnership with the U.S., which I believe the numbers were 77% of our exports are to the United States.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try and make up for that with the European Sharia Union. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And China. And so I began to think, like, okay, what is behind this? I understand that Trump is putting tariffs on Canada, and he is pursuing an economic plan that puts the interests of America first. And I am happy to acknowledge that there are repercussions on this for Canada. But one, guess what? That's the world.
We put tariffs on them too.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know how many times I talk to people and they're talking about.
They think it's a one-way street.
Well, they think, well, yeah. I mean, I want to import this thing from the States, but there's these tariffs on it. It's so expensive. Stupid Trump. And it's like
that's your government.
It's coming our way.
Yeah,
that means it's our government.
Yeah. Elbows up, baby.
Elbows up. Yeah.
So I noticed, like, obviously since the election and before that, when the tariffs started, the Canadian government very much sought to create a narrative that America was a hostile enemy to Canada. And this is obviously way overblown. And it is not in the interests of Canada to be enemies with the United States. And let's be real. If Canada was an enemy of the United States, there is nothing we could do about it. Nothing that we could do about it. And so what we should be trying to do is, one, developing a position of strength. This is how you negotiate. You negotiate from a place of strength. We have systematically destroyed our economy. We did. No one else did this. So it's like, if you say that your elbow's up and you don't like Trump, why are you not running the Liberals out of town for destroying our energy sector?
Yeah, we have the lowest growth in the developed world.
Yeah.
The lowest economic growth.
And that happened way before any tariffs were in place. It's like, why don't you care about that? But what's happened recently is this partnership with China and this narrative of enemy has escalated from an economic enemy to an actual military enemy. I saw that the big UK, the Tribune, I forget what it is, but they just wrote an article about Canada gearing up for war with America. And
You're gonna need a few more gears, bud.
yeah, I kind of need a couple more gears, dude.
We got like what, 6 planes?
Yeah. But I mean, there's tampons in the men's washroom in
That's
the
good,
military,
that's good,
so
yeah.
we're good. But to me, this is an obvious psyop.
Yeah.
Like we have the longest undefended land border in the world. And the reason we have that is not merely owing to our geography or the scale. It is owing to the fact that they are largely a friendly nation.
And we have a lot in common.
Yeah. And that's not to deny differences. We've just talked about some. Or to say that we should just have an open border or something like that. We should have a border and we should defend it as a matter of principle. But to actually treat the greatest friend, literally the greatest friend in the world that you could possibly have, the biggest economy in the world and in world history, the most Christianized, culture, the freest culture,
strongest military.
The reason you
we
don't
want to be friends with these guys.
Yeah, with the only reason we don't speak Russian or Mandarin, it's just ridiculous. It's so over the top, and they're going all the way with it. The Liberal government is actually talking about we've run scenarios about an invasion, and it's like, guys, what are we?
It'll be over in 5 minutes.
It would be over in 5
matter
minutes. I read someone today who said that they used to be part of, they must have been in the military, but they were running war games, scenarios between America and Canada. And it was like within a day, the entire border at 150 miles in was already taken. And the thing was over within 24 hours. Mm-hmm. It's just immediately over kind of thing. I find this to be profoundly hypocritical. Not only is it just a total lie that it's a necessity to have this posture, but let's just say there's a sincere threat. If you cared about Canadian sovereignty, why is 25% of our population foreign born? Why are our borders open?
Did you say 25%?
25%. Foreign born.
So how many people have come in the last 5 years?
Millions. Over 5 million in the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, 35 million people in Canada?
Yeah.
40 million people?
Yeah, and the people came before that.
Yeah.
It's actually insane. We have open borders. It's been revealed in committees that when people come to Canada to claim refugee status, which they are entitled to more money and benefits than either of us have on our dime, up until their hearing, which could be 4 or 5 years. You know how they get granted that status? An app. They fill out an app. And then it goes into the process. Or they could just not fill out the app and come into Canada and disappear. There's no physical border guards preventing most people coming into our nation. We have a completely open border. If we cared about Canadian sovereignty, we wouldn't be going through a cultural and economic suicide. We wouldn't be killing energy projects, which are the God-given blessing that produces a prosperity that the world has never known. Why are we destroying those things? The things that fund a military, the things that fund...
Yeah. Well, that thing proves communism wrong, so we can't have it.
Yeah.
Destroy it. Yeah.
We wouldn't be ruining our military through DEI. We wouldn't be ideologically subverting. The military is for waging war. That's what it's for. We actually in the Canadian military have tampons in men's washrooms. We have our general as a woman, which is an abomination. I like what Doug says. A nation that sends its women, its daughters to war is not worth defending. And that's 100% true. The Canadian military, which has a rich history and many honorable people have served in, has been absolutely decimated. Their numbers are so far down. Their morale is down. The standards are down. We are a joke, and it is entirely self-imposed. We tolerate corruption. Like, our state declared war against the citizenry, peaceful citizenry, illegally, and no one's going to say anything about it. But you think that we need to gear up and start killing Americans? It's just complete hypocrisy. It's like, you people don't care about Canada. You don't care about sovereignty. You just want someone to hate to make yourself feel good.
Yeah.
You don't want the real fight. You want the fake fight. And lastly, and this is the other story. Now, this is the last news story. This is the same week they're talking about arming the population, that they're disarming the population.
Yeah.
I got the email today on my phones before I came here about how to hand the firearms over to the state. So which one is it? Are we going to go to war with America? Do we need to build up our capabilities against the U.S.? Well, ostensibly, that's not what's happening here, because everything that you do, not what you say, everything that you do is to undermine Canada's sovereignty, undermine our cultural and social cohesion, undermine any vestige of strength that we once had. All of it undermines it. To me, that I can only see that, one, it's demons behind this, and it's hostile forces. Mm-hmm. It's like, who is getting you to stop eating from the breadbasket of America to go drink from the swill of the European Union? Who convinced you that's a good trade?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
But Europe's cool.
Yeah.
Europe's cool. We're not,
And the places you can still walk.
Yeah, I guess so.
Did you know that Sweden is like the world leader in the rape capital and bomb capital? It's like 300 bombings a year in Sweden. Like, when you go to Sweden, there are places that the emergency medical services can't go without a police escort. And it's because they brought in the Islamists, and they house them and educate them and feed them. And they're returned with the return for that is Molotov cocktails and the raping of their women. Like, this, back to our original point about apostasy, eh?
Yeah.
Like, wow. So things are looking up in the world,
Maybe not in the short term.
But in the long term.
In the long term, it's inevitable what's going to happen.
It is.
He will rule them with a rod of iron.
Yeah. Yeah. And he offers, the amazing thing about Christ too is he offers to forgive his enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any of the people we're describing is free to repent.
Yes.
And receive that forgiveness.
Yeah. I want to, maybe what we're reading, we'll close on this, what we're reading, unless you had something else you wanted to say about Revolutions.
No, that's good.
I'm still reading through On Revolution by Hannah Arendt. I don't have a lot to say about it right now because it's dense and I'm still processing it. But you did make me want to pick up A Tale of Two Cities. I don't know why I didn't think of that, because I'm reading a lot about revolution right now. And that's the book to read.
Yeah.
Did you listen to it or read it?
I've done both.
Wow.
I've read it multiple times.
Wow.
There is a very good audiobook version of it. If you like audiobooks, I'll get you the title or the reader.
Yeah. Did you like, have you seen the play or the movie Les Miserables?
I think I saw one of the movies
when
I was younger. I don't know how closely it stuck to the book.
Yeah.
But actually, no, I haven't even seen the movie. I think my dad had like audiobooks on cassette. And we listened to it on a car ride one time, like on a family vacation. And I remember liking it, but I was really young.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that kind of takes place around the same time.
Yeah, they definitely have a more sympathetic view of the revolution in some ways. And like the movie, I haven't read the book, but I remember watching the movie. And again, super depressing. Like, that's why I'm asking if it ends. I don't have the. Life is so filled with sorrows, like people's sorrows and just dealing with hard things. I just don't really like at the end of the day have the stomach to. I find it invasive to read about people's misery.
Yeah, it's not all misery.
Yeah.
No, it's worth reading. And
Good.
I think you'd be pleased with the ending.
Yeah. Good. Good. Well, hey, don't join the revolution.
No, don't
join a local
the
church.
That's right.
Get married, have kids.
Worship with the saints.
Yeah, worship with the saints.
So yeah, did you get any further in the Israel history book?
I haven't circled back to that in a long time. I have too many books on the go.
You've got that Victor Davis Hanson one too. You're reading.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot on the go.
I do have a lot on the go. I have appreciated audiobooks. I think I told you I just got into that in the last 6 months.
It's helpful if you can find a good reader.
Yes.
If it's a bad reader, it's like I can't do it. Like if I don't like the person's reading, like within 5 seconds, I'm going to hate the book.
One of the things I struggle with audiobooks, and this is what gets me hung up with books, is I read something and I underline it and it makes me want to go find something.
Yeah.
I find it really hard. Like even in Victor David Hanson's book, he makes so many critical points. Like even how the Germany killed way more people than the Allies, the majority of them civilians, and they lost the war. And he raises these tidbits, and just in the beginning of it, that I'm like, I need to highlight that. Like I need to write that down. Like it's not like a story that you just. I'm like, I need to retain this.
I can't listen to that type of stuff. I only listen to fiction.
Oh, see, that's what I need to do.
Yeah, maybe the occasional, like I've listened to some theology books, but I have the same problem.
Yeah,
I got to stop. You got to cross-reference things.
Yes,
open the Bible, like see what. So for fiction though, where you're actually following a narrative, it's perfect. Great. Yeah.
Do you ever read Dawn of Wonder?
I'm reading it right now, actually.
Do you like it?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So
I loved it.
It was bigged up pretty hard.
Yeah.
So I had pretty high expectations. I was talking to somebody about this week. I like the story. I like the plot.
Yeah.
I like the characters. I'm not a big fan of the guy's writing.
Okay.
His style is, I'm not super keen on it.
Okay.
I find a lot of it seems a little. I know it's really hard to build a world and sort of create that world. Like, and when you read Lord of the Rings, it's perfect.
Yes.
And you read something like this, and you're like, it's not
trying.
perfect. He's trying.
Yeah.
But some of it just seems a little derivative.
Yeah.
And his writing style, sometimes I feel like he's just trying to jam a simile in there for no reason. Mm-hmm. It's like. But other than that, like I'm enjoying it. Mm-hmm. I'm about maybe 15% through.
Oh, okay. It I found it got better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying. I'm not picking it up going, oh man, I got to get through this thing. So I'm happily reading it.
Yeah.
It's not quite what I was expecting as far as quality. Mm-hmm. But maybe it just gets way better. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good book. Jonathan Renshaw, Dawn of Wonder. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm reading. And Leslie Newbegin's The Gospel as Public Truth.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I actually have never... I've read quotes from him, but I've not actually read a book.
I've never even read quotes from him. I just heard C.R. Wiley mention this book, and I was like, oh, that sounds like a good one.
I feel like I always hear... Like, I heard him quoted 15 years ago or more by kind of the missional church guys and more, I don't know if you say left-leaning, like progressive Christian type. So I just was like, oh, if those guys are quoting this guy, I'm not really interested.
I can see why the missional guys would. He does not strike me as left-leaning at all.
Okay.
Like he's He's hitting on truth as an absolute, like, very hard.
Oh, good.
It's really good so far. It's a real short book.
Was he a missionary?
I believe he was an Anglican missionary.
Yeah.
In, I don't know. Yeah, I don't even want to guess.
Yeah.
The book doesn't really talk about him at all. It's a series of lectures he gave on truth.
Yeah. Yeah, this book, Groen Van Prinsterer's book.
What's that one called?
Unbelief and Revolution.
Unbelief and Revolution.
It's very good. And actually, Cannon published a book about how Christians, I forgot the title is. It's like something like Christians living in a revolutionary age. That's not the title, but it's something like that. And I have that too. I don't know if it's a different work entirely or not, but I just found it the other day. I'm like, what's this? I do that. I buy books that I forget that I bought.
Yeah, me too.
Anyways, his book, interestingly, was the result of lectures that he gave to 3 friends in his own library, which I'm like, that's motivating, because one thing I struggle with writing, especially with writing, not sermons, because there's something about the fact it needs to be done for Sunday morning that confines me, that actually really frees me.
Yeah.
But other things, I feel a compulsion to say everything and the final word about everything. And I get really hung up on that. And that's when I read something, I jump to something else and something else and something else. But Schaeffer did this as well. A lot of his written works are the result of lectures that he gave. Yep. And what you do is you allow the process of refinement. Well, even this was a way better episode than the last one we did.
Yeah, you should have heard the last one. It was garbage.
No,
just kidding. It wasn't garbage.
I wouldn't listen to those guys.
This was better, though.
But it just was better because we've thought about it more. I've thought about it more, this type of thing. There's something about the discipline of just doing something and trusting the process, to use a cliche.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same with music and stuff, but it's like, it doesn't have to be, Handel's Messiah in order to be like a good work of art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, is what you're saying true? Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You can't say everything all the time. So
no,
just do your best to speak truthfully. And
yes, say something true.
Yeah.
I think it's the part of me that views everything as an argument and anticipates objections. Like if there remain objections that I haven't answered, to me it feels as though it's incomplete.
Yeah.
But you can't actually ever deal with every objection.
Yeah, because you have to make a positive case too.
You do. Yeah. So.
And you want to have those objections worked out in your mind so that when you get challenged, you're ready for them.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you have to say all of them.
No.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, this has been a great episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time to put that all together for us. Mm-hmm. And I will leave us with the normal call out. May he have dominion from sea to sea and from the river to the ends of the earth. May all kings fall down before him. All nations serve him. We'll see you next time.